rape you. I would never do that. Welcome to 2:30. What a weird way to start, Dylan. What a weird way to insinuate that.
Guys, you don't know the backstory of when we're bad. Bobby whips out the whip.
I whip out the whip.
Yeah.
You could have picked a different word.
You whip out the whip.
I whip out the whip. Yeah, all right, whatever. I would never hurt my boys on camera. Welcome to the Joystick Show, episode 230.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Woo.
That's crazy. It's going to be a crazy adventure. If you haven't noticed, Joey's here. Joey had a pretty insane 3 weeks of extreme mountaineering, performing at independent music festivals, and spreading the Lord's word in northern Canada. So that's what Joey's been up to the past 3 weeks, but it's nice to have you back.
Thank you.
And if you're wondering where Jerry is, Jerry's actually taking lessons to get his pilot license, which is actually pretty cool. He's going to be a helicopter pilot. We're really excited for him. It's like his dream come true. He's been talking about it. Like literally the first words I ever heard out of Jerry's mouth
Was
were
sky.
helicopter. Like literally,
Yeah.
it's the only word he knew when I first met him. So shout outs to him and up in the air, baby.
Honestly,
I haven't been to his house in a mad long, but I remember he had like a helicopter in the backyard.
In a mad long.
Yeah.
In
a mad long.
Well,
not only was I gonna say something so fucking stupid, like, some corny ass joke, but I think it's hysterical that we have to teach Joey how to speak.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It's been a mad long since the last episode of the Joystick Show. If you don't remember what goes down here, we usually talk to your face for about 40-ish minutes.
About that.
You can go ahead and like this episode. You can go ahead and subscribe to the Teemo. And if you want to know some of the things we're going to be hitting on, look at that. Oh my God, right there.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's nuts. It's insane. First thing that I want to talk about is an experience the three of us shared. Unfortunately, Joey wasn't there. Jerry was the third there.
Yes.
But Jerry and I got to go to our first hockey game.
How was that?
Correct.
I got a lot of feelings about this.
Yeah,
man.
you got emotions, thoughts.
So
Did you
many.
cry?
I could have come close to. It was an experience, man. So I think the first thing I want to touch on is I'm just gonna go up about it chronologically speaking,
Okay.
and we'll skip after the Uber driver who almost killed us 3 times, getting us to the fucking stadium in the first place.
He wanted to make the time estimate, bro. He saw the time estimate go up, and he's like, "Nah, on my fucking."
Not to mention we were already ready to get there 45 minutes early or some shit like that. But whatever.
Yeah.
We get to the arena. It's a new, how long has it been open? 2-3 years? It's pretty new.
Yeah,
right?
3 years, 4 years, something like that.
So it's pretty state of the art. It's pretty
Nice.
It's in a nice location in Long Island. It's the UBS Arena. Oobs. And I remember we go in, and the first thing
border.
that Dylan says, or not the first thing, but we tell him we're following you, but the first thing that Dylan tells me and Jerry is like, what I like to do when I come here is I like to go to my seats and put my coat down. And I'm like, where the fuck are we? Because I would never do that in any stadium ever.
Just make sure nothing good's in your coat.
Sure enough, you just go, leave your shit. It's super chill. It's it's ridiculous.
In fact, someone actually sat in our seat and left their coats in our seat.
Yeah.
At one point, which I was like, I looked at him like, bro, they left their coats here.
Yeah, I go to sit in my chair, and there's a woman's coat, and I'm like, I feel bad. And Dylan's like, whatever. And I just put it to the side, forgot about it, and 5 minutes later, I look to the right, and it's gone. It was not a problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
The right person took it.
So, we get to the game, we sit down. You always kind of play roulette with who you're going to be sitting around at these games. We just so happened to basically be sitting in front of us 15 years ago.
Bro, we hit the lot. Can I just say, I don't mean to
That's
cut you
crazy.
off, but we kind of hit the lottery.
I'm not
going to
lie. In any other situation, it would be annoying, but these kids were actually hilarious. We were sitting next to 4 or 5 10 to 13-year-old kids who are on their own little league hockey team, but they're practically giving 13-year-old color commentary of the game that we're watching in front of them. So it's fucking hilarious, yeah. And I'll get to that in a bit too. But the game starts, we see the first fight. That was really cool. It was like, whoa, what the fuck? And the first thing I want to comment on in terms of the game is actually, it has nothing to do with the actual players of the game itself. It's when they stop the game. Because, when there's a foul, I don't know what they're called in hockey, but they usually don't show it on TV. They'll cut to commercial or cut to the analyst or something like that. But I never really thought about it.
Yeah, that what happens during the break in hockey where they show 2 commercials,
Exactly.
Yeah.
What they do is they clean the ice, and it makes sense, right? Because the skaters are doing skirt and they're pushing the powder all over. but I never really like put it into perspective that the people who clean the ice are also on ice skates. So it's all like perfectly synchronized and super quick and efficient. And I swear to God, that might have been cooler than the hockey. Like every time they came up, Dylan could tell you. I was like, yo! Like, I was just like getting so hyped for the fucking
cleaning the ice.
At one point, the guy with the trash can like got the last of it, and then he spun around, spun the trash can, and like perfectly lined his way, exited out. It was like, whoa, that was fucking insane. So props to the people who clean the ice, at least at the UBS arena, because they're doing their job well. Next, the Islanders scored their first goal.
Yes.
And that was an interesting experience.
Oh.
I knew that all hockey teams have their own goal horn, so when the team scores, it's like a big and everybody was crazy. I don't know there's like fucking choreography.
Okay, yeah. How about we do this?
Huh?
How about we do this? Joey, every NHL team not only has their own goal horn, which is like their own sound effect, but they also have a chant.
Yes.
Or some type of celebration. Like imagine a Fortnite emote after scoring a goal. Can you think
That's
of,
what it sounds like. I'm like, this sounds like you like
So
score.
can you guess what the Islanders one is?
It has to be something like quick and easy.
Oh yeah, it's
very
stupidly quick and
simple.
easy. So
Is
apparently,
it literally like
you're close. You got one of the words.
yeah.
You want to guess what the other one is?
Yeah, Islanders.
Not Islanders. It's another fucking exclamatory word like that.
Yeah, team.
No, yeah, and
Yeah, guys.
fuck it.
Okay,
You try.
yeah.
So basically,
Yeah, baby.
Dylan informed us that after every goal, they chant 3 woos and 7 or 8 yeahs. So after the goal scores, Jerry and I are already hyped. We're like,
Or
yeah.
yes, I guess.
And then everyone in the arena around us, Dylan and his brother-in-law included, are like, woo, 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 yeah. And I'm like, what? Like, I didn't know there was a whole thing.
It is yes. It's
oh,
yes.
yes. Sorry.
Yes.
That's what it is. So I didn't know there was like a whole thing.
I'm just imagining you and Jerry being like, what the fuck?
That was us on the first goal. You best believe on the second goal, we were like, woo, woo, yes, yeah. Yo, we were in it. We were in the culture. The other cool thing I didn't know, because I didn't know anything about hockey. I felt like Dylan's girlfriend, just like, so what do they do here? Like, what do the rules work? Because I don't know anything. I know Gretzky's the GOAT, and I know they skate. That's it. So I didn't know that they play in periods, specifically 3 periods, and between each of the periods is a 15-minute intermission. So there's like 30 minutes of downtime when you go to a hockey game. And combine that with like a pretty lax stadium, it's like a vibe. Like it doesn't feel like you're racing back to your seat or racing to the bathroom. Like you have a lot of time to just like get up, stretch your legs, get back to the
hang out for a few,
back
get
to the
a
seats
drink
before the
and
game
get back.
starts. It's a really cool experience. So I gotta say, all in all, hockey, like as a fan experience, I love it. I don't know how much I'm gonna like follow the sport.
It's hard.
But,
It's hard. It's a little hard to follow.
But I know that going forward, anytime you're like, you want to go to yes, that's my answer. I will give you the money.
And they fucking won.
And yeah,
that's
against the best team in the league right now, which is even cooler.
That's
So
cool.
That was really
Good
dope.
luck.
Oh, and
That
I
was
guess
good
we
luck.
should actually end with at least one of the things these kids said, right?
Oh
'Cause
my god.
Oh
these
yeah,
fucking-
what you were talking about.
one of my
then.
personal favorites was at one point they started getting into the plot summary of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and then one of the kids behind me was like, "Yeah, did you see the SpongeBob SquarePants movie? Plankton got the secret formula, but then he loses it at the end." Yeah, and I was like, "That is what
That's
happened.
what happened.
It's fucking crazy." There
Kids
was
keeping it alive.
also a point where they have the jumbotron, they're playing footage, and the kids behind us saw these 2 other kids, and one of them
That
was
they know
like,
from
was
school.
like, "Yo, that's TJ, that's TJ." So they're like, "Yo, I'm gonna call him right now.
They
So he pulls out his phone, he's like, "Yo, wait." So he calls and he's like, Yo, TJ, I just saw you on the jumbotron. I'm at the game. Yeah, I'm at the game. Yo, upper deck. Look, behind you. No, the other way. No, the other way. No, behind. Look. He's standing up. Look, TJ, yeah. Ah! And they're going fucking crazy, and to the point where we're about to go like TJ, like we're getting fucking insane. I think Mitch, your brother-in-law, was like, "Shit, I want TJ at my birthday party or something like that."
DJ sounds fucking dope.
TJ is sick.
Yo, but it was so funny. And then last but not least, fucking they had like this weird thing with donuts where like they loved calling people donuts, or like other than that, they would like say things like, like there was like this player, and they were like,
fucking donut.
There was like this one player. He was like, no more glazed donuts for you. But then as the game went on, he was like, yeah, no more glazed munchkins either, or glazed pancakes. And we're like, where the fuck is this going? Like, he's gonna name every fucking confection in a bakery. And then last but not least, the last thing that the fucking made me cry of this chain of kids, the one all the way on the right says some shit along the lines of, bro, that's not icing, you donut. And then the kid on the left laughs, right? And then turns to the kid on his left and goes, bro, did you hear what David just said? Bro, you fucking saw that. He goes, it's not icing, you donut. That kid laughs. He turns to the left. Bro, guess what Alex just told me that David just said, bro?
No.
It went on like 3 more times. Like, kid, like literally, I looked at Jerry and I was like, what the fuck is that? Where are we, bro? But it was a fucking great time. Would absolutely go again. You got to go next time.
Yeah, word.
Shout outs to the Islanders. Shout outs to hockey. Great sport.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! That.
Yes.
He literally did it.
I got like half of it. That's fine.
I got half of it. I didn't do 2
That's
more.
acceptable. You know, he didn't even go. So look at that.
Yeah.
But that's my hockey experience. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Joey?
Well, I haven't been watching hockey, but I've been watching animated baseball. That's Pixar's newest series that they just created.
Oh, I've heard of this.
It's called Win or Lose. 2 episodes come out every week. They're not done with it. I think as this came out, when this episode comes out, episode 7 and 8 will come out. But I remember hearing the synopsis of it. Have you ever heard of this, Dylan?
Now that I know that it's baseball related, I'm interested.
It's not baseball. So I haven't watched it because all I know is the synopsis. I think it's like an anthology series where every episode is kind of a different spiel. But I think from what I understand, each episode deals with the theme of winning and losing or something like that. So
like Bob said, it's an anthology series. Each character on the baseball team has a story that correlates with everyone else's story until the climactic championship game. And some stories are a bit more sentimental than others, and like I really enjoy it. Like just from the first 2 episodes, I kind of saw what they were doing and I was just eager to see more. And by episode 6, I got my parents hooked on it, that they're like, this is really good, and my sister loves it. Pixar, to promote it, they were acting as if they were the kids in the shows on social media. So they make this world look like a living, breathing world, that to the point I'm like, bro, this sounds like a hype, like softball game. But I think it's pretty good. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. There's also a lot of people shitting on it, similar to Spider-Man, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Oh, the animation sucks. Oh, this is ugly. So I don't know why everyone all of a sudden is an animation snob. I hate Spider-Man. I don't like how it looks. Oh, I hate this. I don't know how
they hate
this
Shrek.
looks.
We talked about Shrek last week.
I was about to say that. I didn't know if you guys spoke about it, but I hate Shrek. So I'm like, damn, stop being an animation snob. Just watch it.
About it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you not like the animation either?
No, I'm upset about people that are upset about it.
It's like,
just shut the fuck
who
up
cares?
It's
That's our take.
Like my bit, like not to reiterate stuff that we said last episode, was there were legit people on Twitter who were comparing it to like the Sonic fiasco, and I was like, that was an utter shit show. There was no saving that, you know what I mean? Or there was, but there's a distinct difference. There was not that big of a difference here. They look a little cuter, a little rounder, but it's not rounder. But it's not like they took away the like it's Shrek, it's Donkey. They look fairly the same. Like they're missing upper lips and they got bigger ears maybe, but
they changed the animation for Puss in Boots.
The animation, but the character model itself is pretty
kind of similar.
Yeah. And then we talked about how it's hard to like really speak on the animation style of Shrek because we haven't seen it yet. We've only seen the 30-second teaser, and it's literally just them standing in front of the mirror.
In front of a mirror. Yeah.
So when we see it in motion, when we see like an action sequence, I'll be able to talk more about it. But
you right.
That's just that. But back to I was also gonna ask. So is this Pixar's like first attempt at an original series?
Yes.
Gotcha.
This is Pixar's first attempt at a series, and I think they're to pardon the pun, but they're knocking it out of the park. Oh, that's Joey. Pick a card for that now.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I really enjoy it, and I've grown to like all the characters and see how their lives intertwine. I told Tatiana, this is like this generation's Hoodwinked. If you've seen Hoodwinked,
weird.
It's because it's like, you see the stories from different perspectives
different.
until they call. So I'm like, this generation's Hoodwinked. This is really dope.
And you just stop talking about Hoodwink because now I really want to rewatch it.
I kind of I
The
literally
Andy Dick Bunny.
no, bro.
Yeah.
Literally, like that's one of those movies from back in the day that like I watched like one time and then never rewatched. So I definitely
Dude, that's one of those movies.
Bro.
When I was a kid, I watched like 500 times.
wow.
Yeah, same.
Got
I watched
brain
that
rot
movie
from,
OD.
bro. Yeah, I watched it way too much. But
Jeez.
yeah, I definitely need to rewatch it.
Because red is blue.
So that's your take on the Pixar?
Yeah, you know, even if it ends on a bad note, I think what they started from episode 1 through 6 is really great. But I don't think they're gonna end on a bad note, just of how great it's been going. But if you haven't seen it, highly recommend Win or Lose. I think it's really good.
Sounds like a home run.
Yeah. That was good.
That's Bobby.
I thought you were gonna throw a curveball.
No,
I don't know.
No, you don't get one.
That's not Dylan.
I don't get one.
That's
How about I
not-
don't get one? How about if I get a whole motherfucking segment about baseball? Not really,
Oh,
but
you got me excited. over
but a
there.
little
bit of
a little
Veronica.
tangent.
A tangent.
Yes,
I'm sorry, a
which-
segue. So
which
to
I would
speak.
like to announce, guys, that 2025 is officially the year of the New York Mets.
Oh yes, it is,
And,
baby.
the Mets have started spring training. Everyone, like, games are on TV. They just don't count yet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's much like the other preseasons of other sports. Like, you know, basketball is a preseason, football is a preseason. And it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Why?
It's kind of dumb. But
Why?
because it exists to, like, get people warmed up. But we also expect people to try. And then people try and they get injured and they're like, why'd you do that? And it's like, because you wanted me to try. So it's kind of like that weird minutia of things. But it's pretty fucking fun. I don't know if you guys know this, but do you know where people play spring training?
Yes.
Where?
Florida.
Correct.
Ooh.
Half of the league plays in Florida. The other half of the league plays in Arizona and New Mexico.
I didn't know that. Actually.
Southern Cal, like wherever it's very warm.
I actually thought they all play in Florida. So.
It's half and half, I think, roughly. But yes, a lot of them choose to do Florida because Florida is like the night, like that's where people want to be. You know what I mean? Like, of course you want to be.
Yeah.
Like, especially when they go whether it's hot. I mean,
Not only that, I feel
any
like
old
especially
person.
of like weather consistency too. It's like if you have rain, it's probably not going to last.
It's
that
gonna be
long.
10
No,
minutes.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be 10 minutes.
that tropical fucking rain.
Exactly.
But yeah, the Mets have high expectations. Everyone is hating on
They have
them
a
already.
stacked ass team.
Which
I'll tell you
people-
that much.
And people are hating on the Mets like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. As if people haven't hated
Oh
on the Mets our
my God.
entire fucking lives.
But it's funny because like now it's different hate, you know. Before
Yeah,
it was like,
it's-
oh, you're the worst, and it was like, we know. And like now it's like you're the best, but it's because you have all these great players, and it's like we know.
That's
It's
like literally give us this.
That's literally what's happening.
Literally every, like, I had to watch a player be really good on the Mets for like a couple of years and then be like, they're not on the Mets. What happened? And it's like they wanted money, you know? And then they just wouldn't be on the Mets. And it's like, why wouldn't they? And it's like, oh, because we had to pay them like actual money. And then we pay a guy money, and then it's like, oh, he got a brain bleed. Oh, he has, you know, David Wright. Oh, his back is deteriorating. Oh, cool. Fantastic. But now we have a guy who's like young.
Yeah.
He's like 2 years younger than us. He looks like he's 35 in Juan Soto. And then the rest of the team is fucking awesome.
yeah, we got Lindor, Vientos. We kept Alonso. It's
And baseball's in a weird spot too. Baseball now has a new team. Much how the Oakland Athletics now play in Sacramento.
yeah,
Okay.
What are they called?
we don't know yet.
And it's not what the name is called. What is the city called? They might be the first ever official team
Without a city.
without a city.
Interesting. So what would they be? Just like
The
team?
The team.
The Athletics.
really?
There's a possibility because they don't. People think that they're just going to choose Sacramento because the team is now moved from Oakland to Sacramento. But the whole idea is that they don't want to be in Sacramento. They're like, oh, we want to be in like Vegas or like a nice market. And then the mayor of Vegas was like, we don't want a baseball team. So now it's like, it is weird.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
I say F it. Just let them be their own team. I say just send everyone who's everyone from every 50 states on that team and just be like, yeah, it's the team. See how that does.
I don't know what you just said, to be honest. Like,
I mean, half the league is from DR. So I don't think it matters.
So it's just
trying to
be
make like an amalgamated team.
Yeah,
of,
we're
like,
just gonna.
Yeah,
I kind of
Overwatch it.
I kind of
that's why I thought you were going with that.
I kind of like that idea, but then now it's just like backyard baseball.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Pablo gives it 15 runs. It's like, I thought you were good, Pablo.
He's just fast.
Yeah, but yeah, there's also some other weird oddities for the year to start. The Dodgers are spending like $1 billion on their team somehow.
Are there any space oddities? No, you don't get it. The
Ground.
There's an oddity in an area known as Tampa Bay, Florida, which several teams are named Tampa Bay when there is no Tampa Bay. It's just Tampa and the other cities, and that's what we call the area, right?
There isn't a Tampa Bay.
There's no place called Tampa Bay, technically.
Huh.
There's a body of water that they colloquially named Tampa Bay, and the entire area as a whole is called that. But the city's Tampa. Everything else is like St. Petersburg or Fort Myers.
Never
We just
that.
got random ass names. Does don't even exist?
Yeah, I mean it's like the New England Patriots. They're not a state.
But
they're
I mean, like New England is a
real
region,
place.
you know.
Yeah, but that's their argument. Tampa Bay is the region.
Gotcha.
Even though it's technically not a real place. Anyways, they are playing in another part of Florida because their stadium was ruined by the hurricane, so they can't play in their stadium.
So they can't be the Tampa.
They are Tampa, but they're just playing like across the way in like St. Lucie or something at a 1-for-1 recreation of the Yankee Stadium, which is pretty funny that they're gonna have the dimensions of Yankee Stadium. But get fucking ready. It doesn't really matter because it's 162 games. So like, tune in this podcast in 5 months, and I'm like, yeah. So like they're pitching the ball and they're catching the ball, like exactly. But it's a fucking great sport. I don't care what anyone says. I love it. I like watching it. It's a great time. Let's do it.
Fire. I want to talk about something.
No.
Okay, I'm not gonna talk about it then. Not because you fucking disrespect me on my own show.
I
bro.
kind of like sitting here in silence, you know, on
Yeah,
this
it's a
podcast
vibe.
where we have the talk.
It's a vibe.
No, you said it. You said it. Just listening to my dad, listening to smooth jazz upstairs. It's not a vibe. What is a vibe is a new show that just came out this past Tuesday. And that show is on Disney Plus. It is by Marvel Studios. And it is a continuation to a show that came out a mad long ago. And that is Daredevil. Born again. Don't say it like that again because it confuses me. And don't say that either because it also confuses me.
I was going for like an Aplebes vibe. Have you guys not seen the video?
Also, I was about to say...
Like
whatever.
It's like a little Hispanic kid, and the dad's like, "Hey son, where we going, man?" Like kind of like that, you know. And he's like, "We're going with that plebes." It's Applebee's. Applebee's. Sorry.
All right.
Cut to that guy.
Cut
to that kid.
Cut to Applebus. But yeah, no. Shout outs to Daredevil Born Again, the brand new Daredevil show. It's pretty interesting. Joey saw the first episode.
Yeah.
First, I will ask first and foremost, Dylan, do you have intentions to watch this show?
But have you seen the other 3 seasons and mini movie of Daredevil?
No. You guys can spoil whatever.
Sounds good because I am.
Because it's only like what, 1 episode, 2 episodes?
There's only 2 episodes.
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
I will say this:
something happened.
Something does happen, and the reason I want to spoil it is because, to be fair, it happens right at the beginning of the series.
Okay,
it happens,
so it's not a spoiler.
It's within the first 10 minutes of the series. It's like kind of the inciting incident that starts the series off.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, it was kind of like leaked a really long time ago. Yeah. So I as a fan, I was just kind of like, no, it's not gonna end. And then it happened, and I was like, it fucking happened. Long story short, they killed off a very popular character on the series. Shout outs to Foggy Nelson. He's Matt Murdock's best friend and lawyer partner. He's murdered in cold blood by Daredevil's villain, Bullseye, and that kind of starts off the whole arc of this new Daredevil character. But just to touch on that real quick, I find that really funny considering like a year or 2 ago, photos leaked from the set of that show, and it was supposed to be Daredevil and Bullseye's actors, Charlie Cox and Wilson, I forgot what his name is, actually fighting, but off to the side were the actor and actress who play Karen and Foggy, and they were like covered in a bunch of blood, and everyone was speculating like one of them is gonna die because like the way that the costumes were and the makeup, it was like very obvious that
someone forgot to like crop them out.
Exactly, you know what I mean? But to be fair, that wasn't a set. That was like in New York, so I think somebody took it out their window or something like that, and it got leaked. So there was already speculated like a really long time ago. Not to mention, as soon as the episode came out, a bunch of people started like, at the very least, teasing to it. They were like, there was literally an interviewer from an Instagram page I follow who right after the episode came out posted an interview he did with the actor who plays Foggy, and he's like, bro, can I give you a hug? And he's like, yeah, you need it, right? And I was like, it's so obvious what they're alluding to. They're not even like trying to be secretive about it. But that being said, while I am on the fence about it, I do think it's something that's necessary to move the story forward. Like, we can't be stuck in the same thing that was going on however many years ago it was when that Daredevil show was out on Netflix. We have to do something new. We've got to keep the character fresh. But I'll end it right there for now. I actually want to know, Joey, what do you think of the first episode at least?
So I got into Daredevil late. I wasn't a fan of Daredevil when it was out in our early college years, 2015, 2016, 17. But I got into it and I really enjoyed it, and I actually made my girlfriend watch the first episode with me. So just to like, I said, I'm not going to make you watch all the Netflix shows. I'm just going to give you a rundown. I showed her his origin story as a child. I showed him the fight scene in the hallway and when he gets his costume. And I was like, that's it. That's all you need to know, because we're just going to go into this. I'm sure for Disney Plus fans who've probably never heard of the original series, it's going to be new for them too. And then as characters were being introduced, I'm like, oh, that's Foggy. That's his best friend. And she's like, okay. And when he got shot, Nicole was just like, oh, shit. But I was like,
yeah, I mean,
no way. I was in the dark with that. I didn't watch any interviews, so that took me by left field. And Nicole was just laughing at me like, you look really, like, surprised. I said, I am.
Pussy. Like,
I was like, I fucking am. I said, I didn't expect this shit to happen so fast. And then not only that, when Daredevil, like, he hears Foggy's heartbeat stop, he just fucking pushes Bullseye off the cliff. That breaks his moral code of, like, no killing.
yeah.
So even then I was like, damn, I said,
moral code.
He doesn't do, I was like, babe, he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that. Like, this is out of character for him. I thought the fight scene was really cool and we stuck true to the, very grounded Daredevil fights. Nicole loved the smoke in the pool hall scene, like in the bar. She loved that, and we were just like amazed by Bullseye's accuracy, just literally grabbing something and throwing it without a care, and it's ricocheting everywhere and hits its target like right on the head.
That's his power, so to speak. Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to get further into the episode and talk about Wilson Fisk running for mayor. And Nicole was like, okay, this is alluding something, right? Like, obviously.
Yes.
This is hinting at, the Biden administration. Am I right,
totally,
guys?
Totally. That
when they all wore their blue hats.
That convict criminal Biden that they elected president. But anyway.
To be devil's advocate, though, like, having a criminal president has been, like, in a lot of but is it actually, like, is it a one-for-one Trump?
No,
it's not one for one, but basically there's a lot of themes that are played with.
It does the modern.
It does the modern like split between the people. How could you want to vote for a crook? This, that, and the third. It's all just like the morality of it, all that.
But not only that, like it's one thing. It's one.
Remember, I edit the show, pal.
No.
You want to open your mouth and tilt your head back.
It kind of makes sense why people are so mad about all the woke shit. It's like, yeah, they're bullying your guy. You know what I mean? They're bullying your homie. Then even the other shit. Oh, this show's fucking woke. It's like, you sure we're not just a little upset that we bullied?
I see what you're saying, because I'm imagining, like, what if we grew up in an era like Obama won and there was just a bunch of media trashing Obama, like,
which
all
I feel
the
like we kind of did, but it was like they really couldn't, because then it came off as racist. Yeah, so it's like almost the opposite of the.
It's weird, yeah.
It's like the opposite of the woke. It's like, oh, this is racist.
And then you try to do it against Donald, and he's like, "That's racist. You can't do that against me." It's like that's not how that works, Donald.
Fuck, man.
But
it's before you get onto that, what, I'm pointing a gun at you.
No, before you get onto that.
Yeah, and even down to the hats. Like, you know, one thing, like, you want to allude to that, like, all the cities divided against each other. But then all his followers are wearing hats, like blue hats that say, like, "This can do it," like that slogan. And I'm like, all right, you're nose for nose alluding to what you're trying to say. All right, now you can let go. Release.
So yeah, there's a lot of 1-to-1s there, but regardless, I actually want to talk about my pros and cons for the series that I have going into it. First thing I want to say is I think the acting is really good. I think it's always been good. It's always been pretty sharp, but you can tell that these are characters that these actors genuinely care about and have cared about, and in the absence, they've wanted to, you know, play around with them. And I think I even remember hearing or watching an interview where Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio sat and spoke about the scene where they meet in the diner and kind of like see each other for the first time in a super, super long time. And that scene, it almost reminded me of the scene from Heat where Robert De Niro and Al Pacino meet, and kind of like, they're like, if you cross paths with me, you know, I'm gonna fuck you up. And it's basically that, but between Daredevil and Kingpin. So in that regards, I think it's really cool what these actors are doing with the characters because of how passionate they are about them. To second that, I like the direction that the story's going, especially with how they're starting to integrate it with the MCU. It's kind of, I mean, it's always been a part of the MCU, but now they're being way more blatant about it because they're doing it in a more,
I like that.
In a more, you know, designed way. What was the other thing I was going to say? To be honest, where I have to, like, I don't know if it's a full-on con, but this is where something feels weird about me, or weird about the show to me. After watching it with Mildred, she brought up the point that she didn't like the cinematography, and I don't know if that was it, and I was like, I have to watch a little bit more of it. And what I noticed is that the original Daredevil show is a lot darker, like literally darker. Yeah. There's a lot of silhouettes and stuff like that. There's a film term for it, but I'm losing the name of it. It's like some French or Italian word. But regardless, it's just a lot of, like, you know, dark imagery. It reminds me a lot of like The Godfather Part 2 and stuff. Whereas in this show, it's a bit brighter. And then her argument was that it looks like it's filmed on a set, which some of the indoors definitely are. And some of the older Daredevil fight scenes from the original 3 seasons definitely feel like they were filmed in an apartment building in Brooklyn, you know, like they feel gritty. Whereas these ones just feel, I guess my complaint is they don't feel like they were lit to look like New York City apartments. They feel a little too bright or the color's off or whatever, but that's just a weird gripe for me. But then another thing is, like, the show kind of has this extra feel about it. Like, you can tell it's studio produced now. I mean, it always was, but this is like a different ball game. It's like Marvel Studios. Like, they have this new era to play around with, and I don't know where I feel about it right now, but I guess the best way I could describe it is the original Daredevil series felt sort of almost independent.
Yeah.
And this one feels like, you know, Marvel is working on it, so to speak. But that being said, love the story. I love what's going on with it right now. See, I won't spoil episode 2 for you, but the way episode 2 ends, it just got me, like, literally pumped for the next episode. I'm really hyped for it. And yeah, I like the show so far. It'd be way too early to give a rating, but yeah, just stay tuned. And in, like, I don't know, 5-6 weeks, I'll let you know what I think about it.
I want to go back to what you said about, you know, this feels like a show where the actors really wanted to do more with these characters. Charlie Cox, the guy that plays Daredevil, he looks like he looks like a big nerd, but he's like trying really hard to like conceal it. Like he looks like he really does love playing Daredevil.
Oh, he's like I want to play Daredevil till I die. Like,
yeah,
he voices him in all the cartoons, everything. Like, he's like, I'm Daredevil. Like
that's cool. That's really cool of him. I like him. And
also, he's great at playing a blind guy. Like, I know this is no news, but like it's crazy to see it again. You're like, Jesus Christ, he's so good.
And then I agree with the a bit grittier like feeling from the Netflix one as to for now. It did feel independent. It felt almost niche. Like, everyone was talking about, oh, Civil War, oh, the newest Avengers, and like not a lot of people were watching Netflix's Daredevil. Like, it felt very grounded in that sense, but it was really cool. That's, I guess, what made it really cool. But I did notice just in episode 1, I think maybe since episode 1 takes place in brightly lit rooms, courtrooms, like office spaces, it's brighter, I guess. But I want to pay attention to it more when I watch episode 2.
And one last thing to mention that it jolted my memory. I like the fact that they are keeping the vein of like the one-shot action scenes, which is kind of like what made the series as popular as it was. So they don't do a lot of cuts. Everything feels really in the moment. Lots of great stunt work. So they kept that, and that's crucial to the tonality of the show. Also, I was gonna say something, and it left my brain as I was opening my mouth to say the thing. How crazy is that? Isn't that insane?
Was it about the lack of She-Hulk?
It was not about the Oh, I was gonna say it's kind of on the topic of like cameo stuff. I was like, I need the stats on the over under of if Spider-Man's gonna show up. I need to know that by episode 8. Is he showing up? You know, maybe a little silhouette on a rooftop. I need something.
I want
man.
something.
I need something. They hinted something in episode 2. It's nothing big, but
you see a little.
They acknowledge that he's around.
Yeah, Fisk says it.
Yeah.
He says like there's no spider.
We don't need people in spider costumes and stuff. But yes, I need to. There has to be a cameo at some point. We know Punisher's coming, but I still.
Question: what was with the yellow and red suit in She-Hulk's Daredevil?
That was a nod to his original suit. Like,
okay, but they're not bringing that back. It's just like that
well, I don't know, because in the trailer they showed in this series that he has like other suits that he might bring out. You know, the way that episode 2 ends off again, I don't want to spoil anything, but it starts to kind of like that trend of he's probably going to end up being Daredevil again. So I think by the time season 3 comes or episode 3 comes around, that's probably when we're going to start to see like the suit, the billy clubs, the Daredevil shit, because we're still not there yet. We're still working up to it.
I want to go back to just the bandana and the boxing gloves.
The wraps. That was a fire Daredevil. Yeah. But alas, it is now time to talk about Music Devil. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts?
Dude, what's that?
It's the jam, the yam, and the slam of the week, Dylan. That's what it is. It's a segment that we do every week on our show where we talk about music that we're listening to and give you some recommendations. Okay? Would anybody like to start?
I haven't been listening to a lot of music, but like I said, I taught that retreat, and that guy has been playing acoustic guitar. It got me in the mood to just listen to all the acoustic songs that I learned how to play and what's on my playlist. So my slam for this week is "Cough It Out" by the Front Bottoms.
Cool.
Love that song.
You got one for me, Dylan?
I have a yam of the week. I don't know why I don't sound exciting about it. Maybe because I didn't know what I was gonna pick. Right? I have no idea. But I'm going to pick Soppping with 3 P's by Bay Faction.
That's wet.
Yeah, he's fucking soaked, bro.
Yeah.
And I don't know how else to describe it, but it's one of those bands where it's like their whole gimmick is that their lead singer sings weird.
Okay.
A little similar to Front Bottoms, but this guy kind of like, he talks like this. You know what I mean?
Like a Randy Newman kind of
Yeah, but like hot Randy Newman, like he's smoking in the corner, but he sounds like
you
that.
You got the friend in me.
a little bit,
gotcha.
bro. A little bit.
Gotcha. Real quick, I wanted to shout out a video game I recently played, Sonic Frontiers, which is, I have a lot of thoughts about this game. I also, right after playing it, watched the first Sonic movie for the first time, and I have thoughts about that as well, but we're going to leave that for the next episode. So there's a little cliffhanger when Bobby gets fucking real cringy and talks about Sonic the Hedgehog.
In costume.
But I had half a mind to pick a song from that game. I ended up not. I was jamming to a song by Rod Stewart this week called "Do You Think I'm Sexy?" You know you heard it before. It's my theme song this week, but it's not Jam of the Week. Jam of the Week instead is going to go to a little rap song called "Transylvania" by Sadfriendd and Towa. It's a pretty dope funk song. It's kind of making the reigns on TikTok memes and reels, but it's actually a pretty good banger. So
that's crazy that it's called Transylvania, because I'm looking at a ring of Dracula right now as you said that.
It's like we're best friends.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Split fiction.
That's crazy because I like vampires.
Shout outs. It's crazy because you have teeth, and vampires also have teeth. Guys, thanks for watching episode 230 of the Joystick Show.
That's a fucking podcast.
That was a podcast, man. Hockey, Daredevil,
win or lose.
I don't remember anything else.
It's like, bro, we haven't, like, I don't mean to kill the streak, but we haven't talked about like a supreme leader in a very long time. It's been a minute. I know we talked about Donald Trump, but that doesn't count.
Yeah.
That's our own guy.
We were talking about something else.
Hey.
Well, anyway, thanks for watching the Joystick Show. We really appreciate you guys. Make sure to go ahead and like this episode of the Joystick Show. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the boys. And R.I.P. Gaddafi, baby.